Today's guest has swapped the Australian sunshine for the Alberta winters. And you may think she's brave, or maybe she's just been out in the sun too long. We welcome Kiara Ellis to Bragg N Bout Business today. Welcome,
Thank you.
Kiara.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Right on. So, Kodiak Transport, co-founder, co-operator.
Yeah.
How long has it been in business?
We launched the business at the end of August last year. We got our SFC and all our operating sort of things sorted, but we didn't really start officially running until like December. We were pretty up and well running, so still fairly new for us.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. That's the way we met.
Yeah.
When you were prospecting at a trade show in Calgary
Yeah.
a few weeks ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, good for you guys. Love the hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a hustle.
Yeah. So Kodiak services what kind of geography?
So we're based in Southeast Calgary, and we operate all over Alberta and Western Canada, mainly with industrial manufacturers and suppliers, and a lot of construction teams as well.
I see. Okay. So that's kind of the niche then is in construction.
Yeah, pretty
Nice.
much.
And you and your husband both run this?
Yes, yeah, we do.
Okay. Now, do you both tag team drive or?
On the odd occasion,
Yeah.
I would prefer not to, but that's Ben's world more than mine. But occasionally I will jump in if I have to, just
Nice.
to get the job done sometimes.
Right on. Good for you
Yeah.
guys. That's an exciting venture.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
even just being able to see parts of Canada as well that you just would never think about going to.
Right? Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Coronation, Alberta.
Yeah, and just all the wildlife as well, because obviously you just don't see that every day. You're not
Totally.
seeing like bison in Calgary. So,
No, 100%. Now,
Yeah.
I do notice a little bit of an accent.
oh, could you tell?
Yes, a little bit. So how the heck did you end up in Calgary?
It was pretty random, to be honest. My background is like heavy equipment operating, and I was working in the mines back at home, and I was kind of getting a little bit bored and just thinking, I want to change, don't know what I want to do. And I was actually on Instagram just scrolling, and there's this company called Global Work and Travel, and they basically just help you get the visa, get accommodation, and a job sorted in another country you want to go to.
Oh, wow.
And they like just had this post, and it said, drop your phone number, we'll give you a call. And they called me the next day, and I just booked the flight on the spot.
Wow. That's a leap of faith.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Thank God they were trafficking anybody.
I did my research before
Okay,
they called
good,
me, but
good.
yeah, I was kind of like, I got nothing else to lose, so why not?
That's awesome. So you had a background then in heavy equipment already.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Australia, they've actually mandated a civil construction apprenticeship. So I started that in, I think, 2020, like the very beginning of COVID, basically, was my first day. And then I went into underground mining and did heavy equipment operating there as well. And yeah, that's just kind of how I got here.
So cool. So what was that like? What kind of mine was this you're working in?
We were one of the only mines that does the surface and underground operations on the same site, but we were copper and uranium, gold and silver.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So the
so
cool stuff.
whole shebang.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
right on. Now, coming from the operator side to being a business operator, how's that transition been?
I mean, I think like anything, it's been a bit of a tornado, but I think it helps you appreciate things a lot more, and you can kind of see things from both sides. So then after I did the heavy equipment operating, I then went into business development for a company here. And I think that kind of started that transition of like being able to understand what guys need on site and things like that, and just the reality of how things work. And then, that kind of helped me see the office and the admin side of things as well.
Right.
So it's definitely, there's a lot of learning to do, but it helps you give grace in a lot of situations.
100%. And I'm sure you would need some
Oh, yeah.
when there's timelines involved.
Yes, exactly.
What was one thing that nobody told you as to what to expect when you started your own business?
Everything? Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything. Yeah.
Like there's no one size fits all. Even from another transport company to another transport company, it just works differently for everyone. I think there's a lot of things that, are pretty common sense, but
Sure.
when it comes to the nitty gritty as well of how you want to run your company and start your business, I think it really just comes down to how you want to be presented, and like your morals as well are one of the biggest things. And because, there's a lot of people that might do things very differently to us that we disagree with, and they
For
might
sure.
think the same thing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really just, you've just got to fuck around and find out.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I love that. You do. Yeah. Make some mistakes. You learn from them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what was it like doing the transition from business in Australia to here and the culture?
It's very different. I think like Australia and Canada are very similar, but there's obviously a lot of differences too. One of the hardest things I struggle with is the slang words,
Ah.
because there's so much, especially Alberta slang, that people say, and I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? And I'm just on the phone like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I mean, I'd never had anything to do with transport back at home, so coming into this world and just faking it till you make it,
Sure.
it's a little bit challenging,
Yeah, I
but
can imagine, yeah.
but you get to learn it eventually. And yeah, you've just got to go in head first and just, if you make mistakes, people usually give you a bit of grace as well.
For
Like
sure.
Canadians are polite.
Right, we're polite. We're nice.
For the most part.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah.
some people that are not, but
No, very true.
but you prefer them to just be straight with you as well, and then you learn from it. You don't embarrass yourself again.
Then you know. Exactly.
Yep.
No, you're talking about like slang.
Yep.
I love Aussie slang
Yeah.
because everything's like an E, a good example.
We have a lot of O's as well. So like instead of saying afternoon, it'd be like arvo.
Arvo.
So yeah, like in the arvo. We go to this.
I love that. They shorten it. They shorten everything.
And like the gas station, we just call that a servo.
Servo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't know why, a service station, I guess.
That's great. I love that. I love that stuff.
That's the thing about Australians. We like a chat, but not for too long.
I watch a lot of Aussie man reviews, so that's where I pick up my Aussie slang from.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, we digress. So you have talked a lot in the past, or I shouldn't say a lot, but you've talked in the past about mentorship. What was some good advice that you received before you moved over?
In my apprenticeship, actually, there was this one foreman I had. We did not get along. We just always butted heads and always argued, and we were just the biggest pain in our asses of each other. Right? But one day I was working with some equipment, so I was still a labourer at this point. I wasn't allowed to touch the equipment yet. And we were installing underground water systems and storm drains. And I had a problem with just using my voice and speaking up loud enough for people to hear me, because I was always like, don't want to step on toes.
Sure.
That kind of thing. And he just said to me one day, like, fucking hell, Kiara, like, just use your voice. Like, you don't know how much power you've got in your voice. People do listen to you. And he was like, it's not just because you're a woman, and,
right?
That kind of thing. But,
there you go.
But that's something that's always stuck with me. And it's funny because I think it was because I was never used to him complimenting me in any way or saying anything nice about me.
Mm-hmm. Tough love.
Well, there was no love there though. But,
Okay.
But no, that has always stuck with me. And just, I think as well, like maybe if you are on the quieter side and when you do speak up, people do listen to you a bit more. So
yeah,
I think that's something that's always stuck with me.
It's good advice. Yeah. But if he'd never said anything to you, you wouldn't know.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So for people outside the industry, freight just shows up. But what goes on from the beginning to the end of a load?
A lot of chaos and some communication along the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on who you're working with. Like, there's some people we work with, they only call me. Some people only text me. Some people only email. Others, it's all over the place. And 3 of their mates as well are emailing me.
Oh, handy. Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Because there's some of our customers that'll reach out to us an hour or 30 minutes before it has to go. Or there's some people where it's like 3 months in advance. So it just requires a lot of questions to be asked and just never assume anything because you just don't know. And
double check.
Yeah. And some people's timelines are very different to what you might think. So some things are a major rush, some things are not. But yeah, even just the logistics of setting things up is just insane.
Yeah,
like,
I can imagine.
Yeah. Just a lot of moving parts, and then you've got to make sure that the guys in the shop are ready to load you, and then someone's there to unload you, and all the paperwork's done. The paperwork's going to be ready. It's a bit of a headache at times, but
I can imagine.
Gets done.
And all people want is their stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. I've dealt with, I'm going to say their name, Day and Ross.
Okay.
More like Leighton Lost. It's like, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I won't go into those stories. So what kind of vehicle do you guys operate?
So we've just got a F350 dually, 2025, and then a 30-foot gooseneck trailer.
Nice. So pretty big stuff you can haul.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm guessing these are not normal things that they stick in the shipping truck.
It really depends. Yeah. Like we have a lot of industrial freight. We've got a lot of pallets at times and things like that. But then there's a lot of equipment that we do too. It really just depends. It depends on the customer, like if they would prefer that it's in an enclosed trailer or if it's tarped and that kind of thing. But there's some people that just want it done quickly. And the nice thing too is that we're obviously a lot smaller than semi-trucks, so it's a bit easier for us to get in and out of some places.
Yeah, you're nimble. You can get in and out. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. Like I was downtown yesterday and I saw this pretty big semi-truck trying to get into the tiniest gap of a construction zone in downtown.
Brutal.
And there was like a telephone pole here and then a bunch of cars parked here. And I was just thinking, oh my God, you poor fucker. Like, I felt so bad for him. So I felt a bit better about some of the situations we get into.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So you do a lot of hot shotting then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's just easier than, because obviously semi-trucks require a lot more planning because they can just bunch up a lot of their loads. But for people like us and the people we deal with, they're just like, they want it done straight away.
Yeah,
So.
no, that makes sense. Could be a little tongue-in-cheek. So trucking generally has razor-thin margins, rising costs, driver shortages, everybody keeps talking about. But where you're sitting from a small operation, what's the challenge that you see that people don't talk about at all?
From people we deal with, a lot of people talk about it. The cost of insurance is just through the roof. Like, as a new carrier, I think our insurance cost per month is close to like $4,000.
Whoa!
Yeah, and it's
Good
like,
God.
people always say, like, transport's too expensive and it doesn't cost that much to drive here and there. And it's like, okay, but when you need the insurance because you're running legally, it
Right.
does cost a lot because we've got all of these overheads you got to think about. And it's not seen by the public eye. And I mean, even though, like, when I first moved to Canada, my car insurance was like $400 a month. And I was like, what the hell? Like in Australia, I was paying like $700 for the year. I was like, oh my God, this is
That's utopia.
What have I done?
That's utopia right there.
Yeah, and that included my registration for the year as well. And like I was driving in Australia, we call like a pickup truck a ute. So that was for a ute as well.
Love it. Ute.
Ute.
That's great.
But yeah, like I think one of the most hidden costs that people aren't aware of other than the truck drivers is insurance costs. It's it's insane. And then, like for our customers where we're going to pretty remote places, it's like $2.50 for a litre of diesel.
That's right.
And it's like we have to, like, when you have the $250 tap limits, we're often doing it like 2 or 3 times just to fill the truck.
God.
And it's like, it's not cheap to run any truck, even the little trucks. Like, at the time, like, depending where we're going and how much strain you're putting on the truck, you're burning through a lot of fuel.
100%. And going uphill.
Yeah.
And in the wind.
Yeah.
God forbid you do a load down in Pitcher Creek or something.
We
like
go
that.
down there quite often,
Oh,
actually.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, but and that's the advantage of semi trucks is they can often put so many things on there and it's all tarped up that they can only charge some people like $500 to go do this, whereas we might be double the price sometimes because that's all we can take.
Right.
So there's advantages and disadvantages everywhere.
100%. I get that. So as a woman who's building a business in the trucking world that is, pretty male dominated, has that worked to your advantage?
I think it surprises people when I meet them. Like, especially a lot of the events I go to, they're like, oh, so you're a recruiter?
You're an HR?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't blame them. But no, I think, I mean, it's 2026. No one cares. Like, I personally don't care. At the end of the day, you're starting a business. I'm starting a business. Like, it really doesn't matter. And I think there's some people it really resonates to hear that I run it with my partner, Ben, as well.
Sure.
Because, like, there's some people I've met where they're like, oh, like, I actually did the same thing with my husband, like, for 20 years and that kind of thing.
Right.
And I think it just depends how you go about it. Like, if you don't make a big deal about it, others won't, typically. I don't really promote that very much.
No, you just go with it. You just get the job done.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what people want.
Yeah.
Job done. They don't care who does it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's a good point there as well.
I wish some people would just understand the cost of transport, especially for trucks like us as well. They think because we are smaller, we can do it a lot cheaper. But, there was someone that reached out to me recently asking for something to go up to the Yukon, and I gave them the quote, and they were like, oh, a semi-truck can do it for half the price. I'm like, why are you reaching out to me?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, if you've already got a quote, like, I don't know why you would go seeking others. I don't know. I think there's just a bit of misconception going around about smaller trucks. Like, maybe in the city it's easier and it's cheaper and quicker for us to go do it. But yeah, there's a lot of hidden costs that people aren't aware of. And, the other thing too is, like, just in the industry, we use a lot of Facebook groups to, like, find new customers and just to, like, fill the gaps and things like that for some extra loads. And, we see some people that are doing jobs for like $500 that we'd be charging like $1,000 for or something like that.
But
And
they
it's
don't
like-
have insurance.
and
Legit.
you just feel bad for the customer that maybe isn't aware of those things, because if it's like a one-off where it's just someone bought something from an auction, like maybe they haven't really looked into transport before, they aren't aware that if something happens to that guy bringing their stuff back, they could lose it.
Right.
And insurance isn't going to cover it.
That's right.
So yeah, I think there's just some people that need to do a bit of research with it and just promoting safe transport, safe and reliable transport.
Yeah, exactly. And insured.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they lose your load, you're out.
Exactly. So cheap isn't always cheap.
No, you got to know what that bottom line in a quote. You have to look at the whole package. You're clearly building something with Kodiak. Where do you see the business in 5 years?
Well, we're already thinking about looking at expanding coming into next spring.
Nice.
Obviously, we just want to make sure we're not jumping the gun on anything.
Of course.
But yeah, just looking at expansion and trying to do things properly and be the kind of bosses that we would like working for. I think that's the biggest thing that has really driven us to start our own companies. Just everyone has a terrible boss experience.
Right. Exactly.
And yeah, we also, like we've talked about the mentorship as well. We want to be the kind of people where young kids could come to us for advice when they want to do something. And, we understand as well that it's not like it was back in the day where you'd hear someone work for the same company for 50 years to retirement.
That's rare today.
And we know that there's so many young kids out there that maybe they want to start doing this as well, but just the cost of everything. I mean, let alone the cost of living, like starting something and taking that risk, it's a pretty big deal. But, we want to be the kind of person where if we hire a young kid that wants to come drive trucks for us, but, maybe eventually they want to go start their own business, we're happy to help them.
Nice.
We're not just going to gatekeep all those secrets and things like that. Because, at the end of the day, at that point, hopefully, we'll be in a pretty good position where we're not really worried. But it's also an opportunity to work together as well and promote safe, reliable transport operators.
That's excellent. That's a beautiful viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you guys. Is Ben Canadian or is he Australian?
His family's actually Welsh.
Welsh? No kidding.
Yeah, but
Okay.
they emigrated over here in 2008. So Ben was just a kid then. So
Sure.
he sounds Canadian. You'd think he was Canadian.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's
yeah.
very, very proud Welsh.
Very good. It's a small country.
It is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful over there, though.
It is.
It's,
yes. Oh my
yeah.
God. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Good. All right. I got some personal questions for you now.
Okay.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was like a real little kid, I always wanted to be a vet.
A vet? All right.
But then when I was like 7, we had to put our first dog down. Didn't want to be a vet after that.
That's a tough one.
Never considered it again.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Yeah. But no, I'm a big animal person.
Yep.
But yeah, no, after like seeing the reality of all the negative sides of it.
That's kind of what you deal with on a day-to-day side is the negative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think like if I won the lottery, if money wasn't an issue, I'd have a farm and I'd just rescue all these dogs. They'd have the best life ever. If someone wants to adopt them, they can. But
Right.
otherwise, they're getting pancakes every morning and just getting treated like royalty.
You and my wife would get along well. Yeah. All right. What was your first job?
KFC.
Yeah. No kidding. Did they call it, is the menu different down there?
It's very different, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, and it tastes a bit better too, in my opinion. I don't think you guys do it here, but we do these things called Wicked Wings. And
They did have them here, I think, for a period of time.
I think I saw like an ad for them, but it was only like temporary. But
Yeah.
I love Wicked Wings. So good. Yeah. And we do these things like it's called a Zinger box, and you'll get like a meal box basically, and it will have like a Zinger burger, 3 Wicked Wings, chips, potato and gravy, and like a drink and stuff. I love it.
I'm good for Dirty Bird like once every 6 months.
Yeah.
That's when I like to go.
Yeah. Sometimes we get the craving for it. So you just smell it and it's like, oh, yeah, I need to
Right?
get that.
Go on a bender on a weekend, he wants some KFC the next day or the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or during.
Or during. It's always. What's your favorite job so far?
This one.
Is it?
Yeah.
You made the right decision.
Yep.
Yeah. Good for you guys.
Yeah, I think that's like something I've heard actually from a lot of people like us is maybe they struggled to really have the desire to stay at a job for longer than a year, 2 years. And then they all realize, I think I just need to work for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then, yeah, like all these people still in business after 5, 20 years and that kind of thing. And I'm like, hopefully that's us.
What advice would you give to somebody that's wanting to start their own business now?
Just do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Because I think a lot of people just have that mindset of, oh, I'm not ready, I'm not prepared. I mean, a financial situation is a bit different. Like you've got to make sure you have the ability to stay afloat.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing else holding you back, just do it. Because you're going to learn way more just starting the process and just throwing yourself in the deep end than just watching YouTube videos, reading about it. Like you're never going to be prepared.
You're never going to get a 6-pack by watching somebody do the
Exactly.
sit-ups. You got to do them.
Just go do it.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
What's the worst job you've had?
Probably KFC.
Yeah? Yeah. I think to me, the smell will get me after a while. Like just being in
Yeah.
it, like coming home and still smelling like.
Yeah, even my shoes smelled like it. I had to throw them out.
Gets
But
it.
my dogs really liked it. And then eventually when I stopped working there, I kind of just forgot about them. And then I found them like 3 months later, just chewed up. I was like, yeah, he liked the smell.
The dog was sad. Didn't work there anymore.
Yeah, he missed me bringing little bits of chicken home for him.
Yeah. What's your proudest business moment so far?
Probably just navigating the really difficult jobs. Like when there's problems on site and between, usually like if there's a problem on site and between the customer and we get it figured out. Like there was one of our very, very early jobs. It was minus 35.
Oh.
We'd just gone up to Grand Prairie. We were on our way back down to stay the night in Edmonton, and we already had the trailer about half full from Grand Prairie. Then we were going to pick up a pretty big tractor like near Devon, and because it was so cold and this tractor was so old, it just wouldn't start. And the guy, like I felt so bad for him. It was an old guy. He was selling his business, so he was selling everything. And we were there with him until about midnight trying to load this tractor up. And he was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like he had it started up, but it was one of those days where it was like warm in the morning and yesterday, and then it just snapped and it was just so cold. And so what had happened, I think the fuel lines had frozen from memory. I think that's what happened. And he was like, I'm sorry, like, I'll pay you to stay the night. Just, I can't do this right now. And then it's cold, so I'm just going to have to send you home. And so we called our customer and just said, the situation. And he was like, oh, okay, like, if you can't get it, no worries. And then we kind of just decided we're not leaving without this tractor. So eventually we ended up just in the most horrific way, like just chaining the tractor up to the other guy's truck and then like his neighbor's truck, and they both just like drove it up onto the trailer.
Dragged it onto the trailer. Wow.
So it was awful because obviously I'm not built for this kind of weather. Well, like I struggle
I'm from here and I'm not built from it.
Yeah. So as much as I didn't want to be there, like just the relief that we felt after that, and then that seller was happy because he could sell that to move on from his business. And then our buyer was happy as well because he obviously got it done.
Totally.
Well, we got it done for him. So I think that's probably one of the most proudest we've been. Just making it work.
And that's how you get repeat business too.
Exactly.
When you do stuff like that.
Yeah. And so, like that customer, he always buys stuff from the Grand Prairie Ritchie Bros auctions.
Yep.
And every time he calls us now, he knows if it's 35, minus 35 outside,
you'll get her done.
We'll get it done.
Yeah, you will.
I'll complain about it, but we'll get it done.
What's keeping you up at night right now?
Just making sure we're always booked.
Yeah.
It's, it's unpredictable.
Because this is a 7-day, 365 days a year business. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't stand working 40 hours for someone else. So now it's 24/7 for ourselves.
But you'd have it no other way.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
That's the hardest thing, is just making sure like we're doing the right things and doing as much as we can, and just, do we have work tomorrow?
Yeah.
So usually we've gotten to a pretty good place now, but it's just, everyone's first year of business is the scariest. So it's just like, if we want to be expanding next year, then we've got to have our ducks in a row.
Yeah. Good. Get a good foundation. What's one thing about your business that no one agrees with you about?
I guess it depends who you ask. Like most people that we know that don't have businesses always tell us to take days off, but we just always feel guilty to do that. Like,
I know.
I mean, maybe when you've got a couple more years up your sleeve, it's obviously okay, but we just don't feel like we're there yet.
Yeah.
So it's, no holidays and that kind of thing.
For sure. Don't burn yourself out, right? Yeah, you're young. You got lots of energy. One question I didn't ask you yet is, have you ever been fired?
I think there was like a mutual firing,
Is that
leaving
right? Parting of the
situation.
ways?
I worked at a Boston Pizza when I first got to Calgary.
Okay.
And this manager, I think he abused some substances. He just couldn't really remember things that he had said. So I already had a job when I was working here, but I was a bit panicked about, affording rent and just being in a new city, because when I first moved to Canada, I started in Squamish in BC.
Oh, beautiful.
And then when I first moved to Calgary, I was like, fuck, like I need money. And I ended up getting like 3 jobs. But anyway, so I had my job that I was like Monday to Friday at. And then I went to the Boston Pizza, and when I applied, I said, I just want to work Fridays, or like Friday nights, and then Saturday, Sunday, I have an open schedule. And he was like, yep, perfect, no worries, that works, blah, blah, blah. And then he just got like really funny about it and back and forth a couple of times. And then, he ended up just kind of losing his mind at me. And I was like, I can't help that you don't remember anything I've told you. He was like, oh, you're not a good fit. Like, you fucking keep changing your mind, fussing up, blah, blah. I was like,
oh my God.
Okay.
There you go.
I was like, I don't think this is going to work. He's like, nah, me either. And just hung up on me. So it was kind of mutual, I think.
It was a mutual thing. Yeah, by the sounds of it. Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do love me some Boston pizza, though.
Yeah. I just don't go to that location anymore.
No? You want to name names?
No.
Okay.
He was Australian, though, the manager.
Was he?
Yeah. I think that's like why I got hired for the most part.
Yeah.
But it didn't end pretty.
No. Oh, well. What are you going to do?
Not go back.
So where can listeners find you online if they want to book you?
So we're on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you just search up Kodiak Transport, pretty much it'll show up. Otherwise, we have a website as well. I think it's kodiakellis.ca.
All right. Excellent. So we'll put those in the show notes. Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to talk about specifically before we sign off?
I think just being a good person is one of the biggest things, and it'll get you places as well. Also, don't be so protective of things in the sense of, I don't want to call it like trade secrets almost. Just like what you put out, you get back kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good
And
philosophy.
yeah, and I think some people are very protective with, their business and that kind of thing, but I think it harms them in the end. And yeah, I think just, even when you go to networking events, just be nice to people. Even if it doesn't relate to you, just have a chat to them.
Right? Exactly.
Because you never know what you're going to get from
That's
it.
right. You never know. You never know. But yeah, some people lead with fear.
Yeah.
They're afraid of what somebody's going to take from them.
Yeah.
Just give. It'll come back.
And like the biggest thing as well, like me moving to Canada, just take every opportunity you can because you don't know how long you've got. So.
Yeah. So overall, you felt it was a good move to come to Canada?
Yeah.
You landed in a pretty great place.
Yeah, I think so. I love Alberta.
Absolutely. Oh, that's great. Well, thank you very much, Kiara.
Thank you for having me.
All the best to you and Ben for Kodiak Transport in the coming years. And yeah, we're excited to see what happens next spring with the expansion.
Thank you. I appreciate it.